Okay, chest day. Today I'm gonna start it off with the incline Smith machine. Probably one of my favorite chest exercises, especially when I'm training alone, you know, don't have a spotter. This way I can always just save myself if it ends up going wrong. I don't need to be worried about anything. And it is just great to start it off for the upper chest. Probably my weakest point of my chest is the upper chest. I think a lot of people struggle with that, so yeah, I always like to start it off with the incline. Got 2 plates of 20 on each side, pretty happy with that. Did a couple of good reps. Tried to do it quite slow and controlled. Little touch and go on chest here, you know, not the cleanest reps, but good enough in my opinion, good enough for building muscle. Of course going all the way to failure, and then use a little bounce to get it off my chest there we go. And then for the second set I also did 2 plates of 20 on each side. Felt strong on the first one, so decided to do the second one with the same amount of weight. Of course, the second set also completely to failure. At this point I knew I wasn't getting it up again, but that's fine, you know. Even for the negative rep, it's still very much worth it. Had to once again use a little bounce to get it up. And then I decided to do a little drop set here. Just drop off the 20s on each side. Have 120 left on both sides. And then go for really just burning the muscle here. At this point, it's not so much my strength that's lacking, it's just a lot of acid that's building up in my chest, where my failure starts coming in. So sometimes I have to take a little breather like here, until I can get it up again, just have to let the acid go out a little bit. And then I can actually go for a couple more reps. Don't think you've reached failure too early, of course. You want to keep on pushing it. For the last set, I did the 20 and 10 on each side, a little bit lighter, you know. The muscles are starting to get quite sore at this point, so I had to light it up a little bit. I try being a little bit more clean, you know, more time on attention with each rep here. Since it's lighter, I can, you know, really put in the mind-muscle connection at this point. A lot of acid building up at this point, so I just kind of have to bite through it, but eventually, you know, you cannot do it anymore. Wasn't satisfied with that, so decided to do another drop set here, just to really drive home the point to the muscles. Once again, really focusing on the stretch part and just going really slowly downwards. Eventually decided that I couldn't go up all the way anymore, so just started doing kind of half reps, you know, to torture the muscles even more. And then it's done. Next up, I got a decline Smith machine chest press. To be honest, I don't see many people doing this exercise. A lot of people, of course, prefer dips for the underside of their chest. But I'm gonna be real honest, I like this exercise a lot more. I tend to feel it way less in my joints. I don't feel anything in my shoulders or my elbows. So this one is really great for me. And I always feel like I can just push it all the way up purely with my chest. Especially in combination with doing an incline first, it just feels really great. Of course, going all the way to failure again on this one. Yeah, if you've never done this exercise, I do recommend trying it out at least once. It feels a bit weird, the setup is a bit weird, but I do really like it. As I said, especially in combination with doing an incline first, you just feel your whole chest in one go with just these 2 exercises. Second set, I also did 2 plates of 20 on each side. I'm a bit stronger on this one than I am on the incline. Even after I've already done incline, I can still easily do the 2 plates on each side. Second set, reached failure, decided to do another drop set, just because. Started half wrapping at this point again. Last set on the decline, once again a 20 and a 10 on this one. And really focus more on the stretch once again. At this point my chest was already quite done from the previous sets and the incline already, so you know, I was starting to struggle, but I really wanted to just reach complete failure, so eventually my butt came off the bench as well a little bit. But to be honest, with this exercise especially, it doesn't really matter all that much, I didn't think, because you just create a greater decline, so it kind of makes the exercise better. And yeah, of course, after a little while I started to really struggle here, but hey, still did a couple of reps. And then I was done. Didn't feel like doing a drop set on this one, so we're on to the last exercise already. Some pec flies. Actually found some really good lighting here. This was like insanely perfect. I'm just completely golden with this one. Don't really know how that happened, but it looks pretty good, so I decided to take off my shirt. Thought that would look quite cinematic. First set, I'm going for the full stack here. Was a little bit heavy, I gotta be real honest, especially seeing as this is my last exercise. But hey, you know, sometimes you gotta train the ego as well, so a little heavy set. Of course, still to failure. A little side angle here, lighten up the weight quite a bit with this one, so that I can actually focus more on time on attention and do a couple more reps. Now, the chest was already quite destroyed, so there was not much weight needed anymore. I just wanted to really get some more acid in there and just feel the burn. At the end, did some half reps. And then decided to do a drop set with this one as well. Because why not? I wasn't satisfied, so you know. Then you do a drop set. And get straight back in there. Started to cheat a little bit here, you know, just to get any movement done. But eventually even that doesn't work anymore. So we're on to the last set here. I like to do the last set on this exercise with like extra range of motion. So I put the machine back a little bit more. I don't really know if you can tell, but I'm going back quite a considerable bit further here with my arms. That way I can really stretch out the chest muscle. And I do have to lighten up the weight quite a bit in order to do this. Also, the acid builds up even faster when I'm doing this, so these sets most of the times don't take all that long, but they are a really nice way to finish the chest, in my opinion. And of course, to finish off the training, did a little bit of posing. Don't know if this was the greatest light. I just found some spot in the gym that looked pretty okay. I think for the camera I was actually a little bit too close, so you know, maybe I have to change that next time. But oh well, still looked good. Had a nice pump, felt really good. So I'm happy with this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.